This is Dolynny TV, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning and welcome back to another edition of Edmonton Oilers discussion here on the channel as we get set for yet another game number 7 of the season, if you can believe that, here in the 2021 NHL season. And it's the Oilers, it's the Winnipeg Jets going head to head for the first time this season in what is an absolute pivotal matchup for our Edmonton Oilers tonight. And well, puck drop at 7 p.m. I do believe, and that leaves us plenty of time to get ready for a hockey game that's going to be very important to the Oilers, like I said. So with that, what do we need to get to? We need to get to the lines. But before we get to that, if you're new to the channel, take the next 8 or 9 minutes to consider hitting the subscribe button and sticking around here. Not always the most pleasant guy to deal with, but hey, you know what? No, nor is anybody else. So stay tuned and we'll all enjoy the fun of an Oilers season, I promise you that. So with that, let's get to the Oilers lines for today against Winnipeg. It's RNH, McDavid, and Puljujarvi. Now this is kind of the situation coming from Jack Michaels, is the fact that it's the eyes and ears from Winnipeg, so it's not necessarily the situation we find ourselves in fully, because Jack Michaels is not there to 100% confirm it, but welcome to the new way of things are being done. Kahun, Draisaitl, and Yamamoto, they stick together. Now all of a sudden there's a lot of talk of just how valuable Dominik Kahun has been to that second line, so we continue to see what he develops tonight. Ennis Turris-Kassian, a new look third line, and perhaps maybe the third line that we've needed for a while now. Not necessarily saying the top line we've needed for a while, but the third line is potentially the line we have needed for a while. Neil, Shore, and Archibald, the fourth line. So this fourth line got it out, grinded out, got some scoring touch from Archibald and Neil. Shore's scored a goal this year, so now it's just a matter of getting things going. Because you look at this, I think out of anyone, the lineup that has the most goals on it is the second, first, and fourth line. Because Shore and Archibald both have a goal. Nobody on the third line has a goal. Draisaitl, Yamamoto have goals, and RNH and McDavid have goals. So that's, you see there's some dead spots in the lineup. Now on the back end, Nurse, Bear, Russell, Barry, Cuckoo, and Larson, your defensive pairs, with Koskinen once again getting the start. So what does that mean for us? Evan Bouchard will not play tonight from what Jack Michaels is indicating here. So that is, again, the mystery continues as to when we'll see Evan Bouchard. We know in the earlier video today we talked about how it's just a matter of time. It's not if, it is when, and I guess the when is not tonight for us Oilers fans to see Evan Bouchard come in. But again, honestly, for Dave Tippett, you can't go out there and punish a team that went and actually finally did what everyone was asking them to do, and that was play defense against the Toronto Maple Leafs. Yes, okay, Larson's costly turnover, this or that, but every game there's going to be one bad play or two bad plays. You're never going to escape a game going perfect. Trust me, if we were all perfect, we wouldn't even be having any of these discussions, because everything would just happen automatically because we're all perfect. So the fact is, Dave Tippett sticks by his guys, doesn't punish anyone for what they did in that game against Toronto, because realistically it was a 3-2 game that ends 4-2. That's fine and dandy, or 4-1, whatever it was. Good luck to me at this point. I had too many games too close together happening all at once. Hey, that is getting a little bit crazy. But what I have to say is, let's get to a little bit of Sportsnet stats here as we get ahead for tonight's game, because I want to kind of give you an update on the standings here. The standings, get it going for goals against. Remember, that is kind of the key factor here. Winnipeg's only allowed 13 goals against, so it's up to this lineup tonight that you see in front of you to go out there and score a bunch of goals and light up that differential for Winnipeg, who is a +6 in the goals for goals against column, whereas the Oilers a -5. So we'd like to see that kind of go to, I don't know, maybe an even for the Winnipeg Jets and maybe a positive for the Edmonton Oilers. Did I just curse it? I potentially did, but you get where I'm going with that. So yeah, for the Oilers, that 4-2 loss to the Maple Leafs, that what played to be a 3-2 game, that's no big deal. And now, of course, like I said, we move on to Winnipeg, where Connor Hellebuck, one of the best goalies in Canada currently. We need to crack him early, crack him often, unless they're playing the backup, which maybe then we can find some success, but that didn't work so well against the likes of Jake Allen for the Montreal Canadiens the other night. So this is the quick turnaround for the Oilers, right? 2 great games against Toronto, 2 of the best games of the year, and now you got to go in against Winnipeg, who is in second in the division, and you have to go out there and beat them in as quickly and as fast as possible. Because the thing is, we had a complete chance to beat up on Toronto in that first period the other night, and we just failed to capitalize on a couple of chances. Perhaps the best one, that Yamamoto shot off the glove of Anderson, whereas if he would have released it right away, by all indications, it would have went into the net instead of off the glove. So it's a matter of, for the Oilers, taking this lineup and taking that mentality of better shots. We talked about that in the earlier video. This is a secondary pregame video, so I'll reiterate that, is just better shots. And on the power play, take the shots and create chaos. And that's where this really hones in, is this lineup is going to have to do what they did 5-on-5 against the Toronto Maple Leafs, and then be a lot better on special teams against the Jets than they were against the Leafs the other night. So you kind of see this combination, right? If the Oilers can go out there and get this done on the power play and the penalty kill and put in that effort they did against the Leafs 5-on-5 in those 2 games, we're going to be dandy. The Oilers will win a ton of games. It's no question about it. The goaltending is there. Mikko Koskinen, despite everybody doubting him now 3 years in, is a legit NHL starter that you can ride to win you hockey games. The Oilers haven't given them the best effort in front of them so far, whether you want to say it's on the power play or on the penalty kill, 5-on-5 with defense or whatnot. But the effort's getting there. The all-around game is going in the direction Dave Tippett needs it to go for his coaching style to be successful. Now is the time you've got to start cashing in, and this lineup is going to be the lineup that has to start doing it. Evan Bouchard, is he a long-term answer? Absolutely. Is Evan Bouchard the answer that goes out there and wins you 7 games in a row? At this stage of his career, probably not. So it's on this group of guys, and maybe 1 or 2 guys coming in and out in that span of 7-8 games, whatever you ride them for, to get the job done and either go 6-1 or 7-0 or whatever it needs to be. And that has to start tonight. You have no more time to waste. You've got to go out there. This is a must-win for the Edmonton Oilers tonight, because you can't fall like the Canucks did the other night against the Montreal Canadiens. Now, the Canucks, yeah, sure, they've given up 2 wins on the season through 7 games, 33 goals against, while the Oilers nowhere near that bad. But still, if you're losing games, it doesn't matter how many goals you're giving up. You're not scoring enough goals. So again, back to this group. They've got to get the job done. They got to go out there and score goals. A quick note on Kyle Turris. He needs to be given some offensive time to get the job done. Yes, penalty kill and stuff slows his offensive game. But the fact is, he has started 69% of his shifts on the ice in the defensive zone. That is not going to allow a great passer, a great playmaker like Kyle Turris to be the most effective. So tonight I look forward to, hopefully with the reconfiguration of the lines, Dave Tippett allowing Kyle Turris to play some offensive minutes for the Oilers tonight. And of course, from Turris, we need shots. He has 9 total shot attempts through 6 games. So yes, if there's one guy that needs to shoot more, it's Kyle Turris, and throwing Puljujarvi on the top line. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Tyson. This is Dolynny TV. I'm going to go eat breakfast because I'm starving here, and if you can't tell me, nagging on a little bit here. I am up on, to here.